Hello and welcome to your new favorite paranormal podcast. I am your host, Kevin Leonard, and with me is Aubrey Bowen. How you doing, Aubrey?
Not bad, not bad. Enjoying my weekend. How about you?
Yes, sir. Same. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you guys have been well, been healthy. We actually had quite the adventure this
Sure do.
past weekend.
hmm
Um, this past weekend, Kappa did an investigation at one of our favorite locations. We were in North Carolina at the USS North Carolina, the battleship in Wilmington. And Aubrey, that was your first investigation of the battleship. What did you think?
Oh man, it was surreal. When I got there, I felt like an ant compared to that huge ship. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Huge guns, huge, I think, smokestacks. Like, wow.
yeah,
Holy cow. And some of the stuff we got to see there and others got to experience. Still kind of gives me chills right now.
yeah. The battleship is always an amazing place to investigate. I know we've talked about it before on the podcast. Corey and I have spoke about it, and um, we still stand by. If you haven't been to the battleship, uh, if you're ever in Wilmington or that area of North Carolina, it's definitely worth a visit. The people are
Mhm.
awesome. Uh, the ship itself is amazing. Um, and just being on the ship, it is just you get that feeling that you feel the history and you get to read all the plaques and just learn so much about those brave men that served aboard the battleship. Um, but yeah, so not only did we investigate the USS North Carolina battleship, but I have some news. Um,
Really?
I I actually asked Tracy to marry me on the battleship,
Yeah.
because it was a
Woo!
very special place to for us, um, doing what we love, and uh my home state. So it was just it felt like the right time, the right place. Couldn't ask for a better setting. And I'll actually go ahead and post a clip of that here. Right here, babe. Right here. You see, it keeps like I feel like it's better and it keeps to the right side. Right of the flag? Yeah. Like it's peeking on your phone. You see it, babe? Turn around.
What are you doing?
You
Are you? You guys are all in on this? Oh my god, are you serious? No way! Are you freaking serious? Are you serious? Oh my god. You guys? Yes! Oh my god. Are you serious? Oh my
Yay!
god. I can take this off. Oh my gosh. Are you guys serious right now? Oh my, are you? Oh my god. You're shaking. You're so cute. Oh. Who all knows about this?
So yeah, she said yes. So couldn't ask for a better location. It's one of our favorite place to investigate, doing what we love, um, at one of our favorite places, my home state. It was an amazing time. Definitely an investigation that I'll remember and Tracy will remember. And I'm pretty sure everybody on the
Uh,
team always
I
remembers the
definitely will.
battleship. So yeah, we still don't have really anything to announce as far as any library presentations or anything coming up, but feel don't forget to follow our social media, facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. Visit the website, kappaparanormal.com. Um, all of that information and stuff will be posted on those links, and you'll be able to follow us and see what we're up to. Um, but yeah, so let's move on to some news stories. Anything you want to say before we jump into the news stories?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got to see shadow figures there. In fact, there was a time where it even startled me because I was watching the red light of the exit sign
Hmm.
and I just saw like two flashes of shadows going through there. And it looked like it had just walked past the light a couple of times. I had my GoPro going, so maybe I've caught it. Um, so that was pretty spooky. And I know a couple of you guys have heard like a dog barking
Yeah,
or people talking. And I think someone even saw like a orb of light at one point
yeah,
too. Or no, I did as well. So
yeah. The dog
definitely
barking
weird stuff
was weird.
happening on that ship.
Yeah, the dog barking was really weird. Because for those that have never been to the battleship, it's way off the like a dirt road, and like it's basically in the
Hmm.
Cape Fear River, but you pull off like the main highway and you have to go down like a dirt road, and it's kind of in there's like a marsh before you get to the parking lot, and then the ship is just right there on the river. So there's really no reason for a dog to be barking or anything like that. But that was really weird. Like you said, about the GoPro and audio, we still have a ton of video and audio to go over. Um, so if we get anything like substantial, especially video wise, I'll probably post that on our website at kappaparanormal.com. So
Yeah,
make sure you keep checking that and see if we have anything that is post worthy.
definitely.
So
I I have.
let's jump into some news articles. Let's look to the skies.
All
Um,
right.
so uh a humming UFO seen hovering over a major UK city before disappearing with a pop. All right.
Oh,
A witness describes the translucent disc-shaped object as having a light at the front before it vanished with a pop over Liverpool's iconic Royal Albert Dock on Sunday. A classic flying saucer was seen hovering over Liverpool's iconic Royal Albert Dock before vanishing with a pop. Photographs provided to the Liverpool Echo seem to capture a disc-shaped craft with what an eyewitness describes as a light at the front. Gideon Allen, 27, who lives in Liverpool's city center near to where the sighting took place, mainstays that he witnessed the UFO above the River Mersey at approximately 6 a.m. on Sunday, March 1st. Speaking to the Liverpool Echo, he revealed, "I heard a humming sound and looked up. It was quite wow. It was quite low down, hovering and darting over the water by the Albert Dock towards the car park at King's Dock. It hovered for a few seconds before flying off into the air toward the left, and then pop, it was gone." Gideon characterized the craft as a classic flying saucer, though interestingly, he reports that supposed craft was completely translucent. He explained you could see through it. It also had a light on it, I imagined to be the front. In 2024, Gideon, originally from Preston, forecast that extraterrestrial encounters in Liverpool would surge after relocating to the city that year, believing that he in some way would influence their visitings. Okay. St
Mhm.
Statistics appeared to have validated his prediction, with UFO and alien reports submitted to Merseyside police doubling between 2024 and 2025, climbing from 17 in 2024 to 34 in 2025. It's unknown how many of these reports have been made by Gideon. Gideon, an actor due to feature in Liverpool-based BBC series The Cage this year, continued that this is the first sighting I've had since December 2024, but I have been having really weird dreams. I've dreamt of floating and seeing people inside glass cylinders. Gideon, who practices witchcraft, continued, I predicted a while back that I would draw more UFOs to the city, and I did. Maybe my magical spiritual abilities are drawing them in, and I've made contact without realizing. Or maybe they find out that this is where the Beatles are from with all the filming going on. So, aliens like the Beatles, they have good taste.
Yeah, I mean, why else to visit Liverpool?
I mean, why else to just, visit Earth in general? They're Beatles
Yeah, the
fans.
Beatles.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean, we're automatically higher on the list
of planets, yeah.
like, of planets to go to.
Yeah. They're like, hey,
It's kind of weird.
how about Earth? They have the Beatles. Let's go.
Yeah, it does make me think more of Star Trek with the pop. Like
Yeah,
all of a sudden, pop, we're in light speed or something like that.
it's very possible.
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
very,
I
very
mean,
possible.
there was a pop that could be it breaking some sort of barrier or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, there's no rules against it yet, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can just pop away.
yeah. Just
Yeah.
pop all over the place. All right. And here's a weird one. Declassified CIA files claim they have found the Ark of the Covenant.
Really?
CIA documents claim remote viewers located the biblical Ark of the Covenant. For centuries, the Ark of the Covenant has remained one of history's greatest religious mysteries. Believed to contain stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, its location has long been unknown. Now, declassified CIA documents from the 1980s suggest intelligence officials once attempted to find the sacred artifact using people who claim to possess paranormal abilities. Ancient biblical relic. According to the Bible, the Ark of the Covenant was constructed by the Israelites after their escape from Egypt. The chest described as being made from I'm gonna butcher this word, acacia wood. Mm. And covered in gold, was created at Mount Sinai in the 13th century BC. Biblical accounts say Moses placed the stone tablets bearing the Ten Commandments inside the ark. Many historians believe the object was later kept in the ancient temple in Jerusalem, where only the high priest was permitted to see it on Yom Kippur, the holiest day in Judaism. Probably butchered that too. Declassified records reveal that U.S. intelligence agencies explored unconventional research methods during the Cold War. According to CIA files, several agencies recruited individuals who allegedly possessed paranormal abilities during the 1970s and 1980s. The initiative involved experiments in remote viewing, a technique in which participants attempted to mentally perceive distant objects, locations, or events. One such effort formed part of a project known as Sun Street, which examined whether these methods could gather intelligence. So that's because police or law enforcement or apparently CIA, government agencies, that was a thing. They might even still do it. I don't know
Right.
how
For all we
often,
know.
but they'll use like self-proclaimed psychics um to help solve cases or do
Mhm.
experiments. So that's really interesting.
The
Um,
remote viewing thing,
hmm
right? The whole uh stares at goats.
Yeah.
The movie, you know what I'm talking about?
hmm
It was like a comedy or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay, but there was a program that we found out the government had at some point about remote viewing,
hmm
and uh, I think there was a little bit of success. Like I need to pull it up or something, but um, our government's definitely been interested in that before, and I wouldn't be surprised if other governments have been
Oh
interested
yeah.
in remote viewing and psychic phenomenon. I mean, gosh, I've even heard uh, our government's used sound weapons
hmm
before.
hmm
Um, I remember one report coming out of Cuba of somebody reporting symptoms that were from sound. Anyway, I digress. It's uh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely possible that the CIA is using psychics and similar type of stuff.
Yeah. That's really
Um,
interesting. Um, and it kind of coincides with I have a couple of stories and news articles or whatnot that we're gonna jump
mhm,
into that involve um like the paranormal and like police or law enforcement or 911 calls or whatever. And that within itself is really interesting, but it makes it more interesting when the police or law enforcement investigate these 911 calls and they're
mhm.
unable to uncover anything or really find an answer, you know?
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
I don't have this particular story pulled up. I probably should have because now I'm just thinking about it. I don't remember where it was or anything like that. But there's probably a few of them to be honest. But they where like 911 would get calls from either a location that is just completely empty, no power to it, no phone line, or even I remember
Uh,
one that the location itself, the entire building was already gone, but the 911 call came from there.
really? Wow.
Um, so
You know, I'll read. I'll occasionally go on some of these police subreddits and some of their stories when they're talking about paranormal stuff is when they'll get 911 calls from abandoned buildings and
hmm
things like that. And yeah, it seems to be a phenomenon that happens
right.
for sure.
I mean, and I know like, GPS location, you could you could argue that maybe someone got into this place, called 911 or whatever. was up to no good, and that's where like the dispatch or whatever would send the police. But like these calls that I remember were coming from landlines of like the property that either no longer exists or there is no phone service there. Um, so stuff like that is really, really interesting. Um, if there's any officers or anything that listen to the show, I would love to hear firsthand any paranormal calls that you have gotten or went to investigate. Um, that would be
I
a
don't
really
understand
interesting
how that
show.
works,
What do you mean?
Kevin. Like, well, if there's not a physical phone, how
Right,
does a ghost entity make a 911 call?
right. I don't know. That's the
Like,
question.
does it come from
Like,
another dimension or something like that? Or, I
I don't know.
mean, is there a ghost phone?
Well, I mean,
There's a ghost phone.
it kind of goes with like, or it makes me think of just EVPs in general. You know, you and I
Yeah.
could be in a room at a location doing an EVP session, ask questions, or just be talking amongst ourselves, just me and you, nobody else at the location. And we go back and we listen to the audio, and we could have a female that wasn't present at the time, no females at the location at all. We could have an EVP of a female answering or just talking along with us. Um,
Wow. Yeah,
where
you're
does
right.
that voice come from? You know? So,
It's classic. So,
and the thing about the phone in general, too, sorry to cut you off, but
no, you're good.
you know that the phone was invented to talk to the dead.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Um, I think it's was it Tom Edison? Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Uh, yeah. Phone.
I'm curious about
Yep.
this because, I mean, it's kind of spooky.
Um,
Definitely Thomas Edison.
yes. Yep. So, all right, maybe it wasn't the original uh um purpose for the phones, but all right. In the 1920s, Thomas Edison attempted to build a spirit phone or a necrophone designed to communicate with the deceased.
Wow.
Uh, believing that personality and memory were physical, indestructible, and transmittable rather than supernatural. Rooted in his belief in science over mysticism, he aimed to build a device to amplify these swarms of energy. Edison believed that if life units, memories, and personalities were physical, a sensitive enough instrument could detect them after the body died. Stands to reason because today we use our
Mhm,
digital voice recorders. Uh,
mhm.
While often cited, no blueprints or physical evidence of this ghost phone were ever found, leading to speculation that it was a hoax, a joke, or simply a failed project he destroyed. The media storm, the concept became a national sensation due to the rise of radio and Edison's fame, but no evidence confirms the device was ever completed. Some accounts claim a chapter detailing his experiments was removed from English versions of his diaries. So yeah,
Really?
yep.
That would make sense, though. Like, that's a good explanation for a ghost.
Hmm.
Just that there's stored information and energy.
Right.
Okay. I mean,
Right.
it sounds really far off a very para scientific theory, but as
Yeah.
good as any as far as trying to explain the whole phenomenon.
Right. And well, that's one of the leading theories in the paranormal is that
Ooh.
a spirit or your soul or whatever is just energy. And energy in
Yeah.
itself can't be destroyed. So
Right.
there's no reason why that energy can't manipulate other objects, can't manipulate sounds, um, waves of some sort. Um,
Hmm.
so that's where like I would love if science took a stronger approach to the paranormal.
Oh,
Even
you want to
if
hear a theory?
hmm, I like
All
theories.
right, check this out. What if someone died in this place that had the 911 call? They're like, I
Okay.
gotta call 911. I gotta call 911. They
Hmm.
never do. And so you have this, you ready for it, potential energy
Okay.
waiting to call 911, and it doesn't happen before they die, but their little ball of energy is still waiting to call 911, and somehow, some way, they make the connection, and boom, 911 is called, and there's no physical way
That's a
to
valid
explain it.
theory. That's a very valid theory.
I feel like I need like a tinfoil hat or something. Yeah,
Aubrey, in this podcast, yeah, definitely, definitely
yeah,
need a tinfoil hats. But I mean,
yeah,
but the thing about the paranormal, this entire field is just a collection of theories. There is nothing
yes,
proven. I mean, I've been investigating the paranormal for years and years. I have friends who have been investigating for years and years. Um, and everyone out there, sorry to burst your bubble, but all of your favorite TV show paranormal investigators have been investigating for years and years,
hmm,
don't have answers. Uh,
yep,
they don't, there is no expertise in this field.
hmm.
It's literally just a bunch of theories. Um, and those that do say that they are an expert or have the answers, it's completely wrong. I would stay far away from them.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Yes, be careful of them.
But the
Uh,
theories are good. Even if you don't have the answers, the theories are good because it keeps
mhm,
the wheels moving. It keeps the field going forward. It keeps the experiments going. Um,
mhm.
and that's really what this is all about. That's why we do this because we go out with questions and we do these experiments, our investigation, and then we come back usually with twice the amount of questions. New Mexico police caught a or catch a ghost on camera. Next time you see a ghost, who are you gonna call? For those who live in Espanola, New Mexico, it won't be Bill Murray and his fellow Ghostbusters, but instead the local police department. On September 20th, Officer Carl Romero of the Espanola Police Department was on duty watching surveillance video from around the station when he spotted something strange. What he saw spooked him. In their surveillance footage, a foggy figure is seen moving through a parking lot and through a
Oh,
secured
wow.
gate. At first, I thought it was a fly, a moth, and then I saw the legs and it was human. Uh, this was what Romero told KOAT. While not entirely clear, the object in the video that moves across the screen appears to be walking. Skeptics might raise their eyebrows at Romero's claims that the shape on the screen is something otherworldly, but it is the kind of spectral presence that Detective Solomon Romero said is not out of the ordinary at the station. A lot of officers have seen certain things, Detective Romero says. Some officers have felt someone breathing down their necks as they're working in the briefing room. For those
Wow.
who have watched movies like Poltergeist, the question of whether or not the station is built over ancient burial grounds immediately comes up. Coet reports that the department, which has been at this location since 2006, is not standing over any hollow grounds, and no inmates have ever died on the premises. That being said, those who work at the station have their fair share of spine-tingling stories. Many of the officers have reported hearing unusual noises in the middle of the night, as well as seeing strange images in the building's lobby that can't be easily explained. Just in time for Halloween season, these unexplained sightings have left many at the station rattled. Is the image in the video a speck of dust or a visitor from beyond? For Detective Romero, at least, the answer is clear. I do believe in ghosts, Detective Romero said, adding that we had some unsolved murders in the area. March 8th, in 2014, one of the most baffling modern mysteries happened. The Boeing 777 disappeared while flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. 239 people were on board. The plane's transponder stopped transmitting and it vanished from radar. Despite massive international searches, the full wreckage has never been found. Only scattered debris has washed ashore on islands in the Indian Ocean. Because of the mystery, theories have included a possible hijacking, pilot sabotage, military involvement, or strange speculative ideas like UFO encounters. No explanation has ever been proven. So, on this day in history, if you remember back in 2014, it was the disappearance of the Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
Yep, I remember. I think they found some pieces
Mm-hmm.
at some point or another. Um, I know there's, uh, I guess, horror movies or whatever where
Yep.
planes will disappear and then all of a sudden they appear back
Mm-hmm.
and not everything's right or whatever. Uh, I know people see UFOs
Mm-hmm.
while flying planes, and oh my gosh, uh, pilots are known for seeing UFOs.
Yep.
That's pretty, I guess you could say, commonly uh, known
Yeah.
if you talk to enough people.
Yeah. And then what's to say about like the pilots or even like the military pilots who have seen things but
Right,
haven't reported it or can't report
right,
it.
or can't, or I've
So,
been encouraged not to,
mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
like I was reading how some military folks. I've read numerous accounts where uh, they have to just keep their sightings on the down low so they don't get ridiculed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's really a thing.
Yeah. Did you have any stories pulled up that you wanted to
Yeah,
share?
I've got an interesting phenomenon that it's kind of near and dear to my heart because I've done research on this before.
Okay.
But this in particular is called the Gordon, I'm sorry, the Gurdon Light, Arkansas's most enduring mystery. Let's see. Deep in the pine forest of southern Arkansas, along an abandoned stretch of railroad track near the small town of Gurdon, a strange light has terrified and fascinated visitors for generations. So we're getting into the whole ghost lights on railroad tracks. I'm sure you've heard about this before in
Oh yeah.
general, right, Kevin? Hmm.
Oh yeah. I'll bring up one after that I've witnessed personally. After you
Really?
yep.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yep.
But this is known simply as the Gurdon Light. This mysterious glowing orb appears after dark, hovering just above the rails, moving silently through the trees as if guided by an unseen hand. Some say it is a trick of nature, others insist it is something far more unsettling. Perhaps a restless spirit still searching the track. Keep reading to learn more, yada, yada, yada. Let's see.
I like yada yada yada.
It's been around since the 1930s. A mysterious, unexplained glowing orb has been seen near these tracks. Uh, and of course, the scientific theory is swamp gas.
There it is. Yep.
Folks, can we stop using swamp gas as a theory for paranormal phenomenon? It just doesn't work. It doesn't
Yeah.
work,
Yeah.
guys. And even worse is, oh my gosh. piezoelectricity from quartz crystals.
Yeah.
Really?
Or ball lighting.
Really?
Ball lightning is
Oh
one.
my God.
Yeah.
Ball lightning. Oh yeah, ball lightning.
Hmm.
Yep. There's no clouds in the sky, no thunderstorms up. It can be ball lightning or heat lightning, which, from what I understand, because I've looked up it numerous times, doesn't exist, Kevin.
Yep. Really?
But reports of this Gurdon light date back all early to the 20th century, when railroad workers and local residents first began whispering about a strange glow seen along the Missouri Pacific Railroad line between Gurdon and Prescott. At the time the railroad was active and the area was bustling with workers, trains, and industry. But even then, people claimed the light behaved unlike any lantern or locomotive headlamp. Witnesses described a floating orb that appeared low to the ground and moved erratically. Sometimes it's white, at other times, it has a bluish or yellow tint. I've seen this.
Hmm.
Not there, but I've seen in general this type of orb,
Hmm.
or others with me have. It would brighten and dim, split into multiple lights, so that's cool, or vanish entirely, only to reappear moments later farther down the track. Railroad crews reportedly saw it drifting towards them before suddenly darting into the trees. See, now this is interesting. Why is this interesting, Kevin? Well,
Hmm.
I've seen my own light in the trees before. I've been up to Wisconsin once
Hmm.
when I was researching the Mothman and a part of another group with the Singular Fortean Society, which is now the Singular Fortean,
Hmm.
I think. But in any case, it was just this plate-sized light in the trees, and it blinked, was there for a second, and then disappeared, just like that.
That's interesting. What? That's
No,
interesting. Interesting. Words are hard for me.
interesting.
It's
Oh, hold on
interesting.
a second. Mowgli, my cat sometimes can be crazy, but so you get these lights that will pop up and then disappear, but sometimes, reportedly, they just stay there in the trees. Um, Either they'll be in the trees or they'll be above the ground, maybe 5 foot or so, and they're basically the will o' the wisp
Hmm.
that people have talked about seeing. And oh my gosh, there's so many different reports from all across the country and the world of seeing these lights. And as far as I know, there hasn't been any real scientific
Nope.
research on it.
Nope.
Yeah, surprise. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, you said you've seen this before too?
I have. I have. Um, actually, it was when I first started investigating the paranormal. So I've shared how I started on the show before, but for those that are new or haven't heard, I'll sum it up. I was really young. My dad was a cop um, for most of my life. Um, and my favorite show, it's to this day, is the X-Files. So
Yes.
that's how I got into the paranormal. And um, my first team that I, created, and I was, 16, 17 or so, because I was obsessed with the X-Files, was X-Files Paranormal, something like that, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, so um when most people start investigating the paranormal, they find a local legend or some sort of haunted location in their town or
Mhm.
somewhere around them.
Mhm.
And it just so happens I'm from Greenville, North Carolina, and there is a town called Pactolus, and uh, there is a legend called the Pactolus Light. And we basically the gist of it is there was a railroad tracks that cut through Pactolus, and there's this dirt road that you could go down, and it cuts through the woods. So basically, you turn off the road into onto this dirt road, and you keep going, and then there's a patch of woods that you can just drive through. That it's, it has a road that goes through it. There's woods on either side, and then you come out the other side, and then you get back on the main road. So, but right in the middle of that patch of woods is where the railroad used to go through. They have since took up the tracks. The railroad doesn't exist anymore. The train doesn't go through. Um, so the tracks were taken up, and they have it kind of gated off right there where the tracks would be, so people wouldn't walk the tracks and walk through the woods. For whatever reason, I don't know, the reason at the time. I know now it's completely gated off, no trespassing. If you live in the area, don't go there. Make sure in any location, a disclaimer here, you have the correct permission for any
Yes.
location to investigate or to poke around and look at. Um,
Yeah.
but again, like I said, I was very early into my interest into the paranormal. So,
Mm.
um, me and my buddy went down, and actually, the first time I went with my sister, and I think my mom was with us. I
Oh,
don't
cool.
think we saw anything, um, but I went back with a buddy of mine at night, and actually it was me and Jonathan, and I believe Sterling. Kind of like those were pretty much the people who formed Kappa with me. We went and we did
Cool.
actually see the light. So what you do is
No.
you park on the tracks, but so the dirt road that cuts through the woods, you stop where the tracks are or where they were, and then you basically turn your car where you're facing down the tracks. Your headlights are just beaming down the path because there's not tracks anymore, but your headlights are beaming down the path where the railroad was. Um, and all you really had to do was just sit there. You turn your lights off, obviously, so you could see. You just sit there and you just wait. We waited and waited, and then you can kind of see a speck of light. Um, and at first, that's all it was this tiny little speck of light down the track. But lo and behold, it started moving left to right, left to right, left to right. And it seemed like it was getting closer because it would kind of get
Wow.
bigger and bigger. Um, and then that's pretty much all it would do. After a while, it would just disappear. I know a lot of people were saying because there are houses way on the other side of the woods down there. They were trying to say that it was either the moonlight hitting like a tin roof or a metal roof or something and just kind of sparkling, and that's what you were seeing. But this was low to the ground. Then it would kind of go up, go down, left, right. Um, but we went back numerous times and we saw it every time. Sometimes it would be relatively close. Sometimes it would be even further away, but it was definitely in the woods and it was definitely moving. Um, and then, so I'll go into the history now, and then I'll tell you what my brother-in-law saw. Um, so the lore to the Pactolus light
Mhm.
is I can't remember. This is a long time since I've heard the story. So bear with me. I may not remember
It's
a
okay.
lot of the details. But some time ago, when obviously it was a functioning station, there was a man going to meet a lady, and he was going to the train station, and he was coming from Greenville, I believe, to Pactolus to meet her all like she was getting off the train and he was going to pick her up. He was on horseback. Um and he ended up getting attacked by highwaymen, I believe, and they stole his horse. They left him on the tracks and the train came by and
Uh,
his head was removed.
oh,
So what you're basically seeing is either this man um waiting for his wife, girlfriend, whoever he was going to meet, and that it's just him on his horse that's going back and forth across the tracks, um
goodness.
going to the station, or most people will say that it's him walking down the tracks looking for his head. And that would be the swaying and when it gets low and stuff like that. Um, so like I'm literally getting chills because I'm just remembering like seeing it. It was really crazy.
Feel them coming.
What my brother-in-law, he's the one who actually told me about the Pactolus Light. He went with his buddy. And I did not witness this at all. I'm just good. He has
Hmm.
no reason to lie about it. He went
Right.
with us one time and he was visibly shaken just for being there. He did not want to be there. I guess it is just PTSD. Um,
Right.
he,
It's real.
yeah, he was like, let's go. Like, he was all for it. But once we got there, he was very, very shaken, very upset, and wanted to leave immediately. Um, so to me, it validated his claims, like
Hmm.
what he saw. But this
Yeah.
is his story. He went with a couple of buddies to the Pactolus Light. They were in two vehicles. Um, one had a truck, one was in a car, like a smaller car. So
Mm.
they were going down to see the Pactolus Light because it was kind of a thing, like a hangout spot for teens, I guess, or it was a thing to do. There's not a whole lot to do in that part of North Carolina. So they went down and I guess they saw the light, but it was just kind of going back and forth. And kids being kids, they started yelling at it, honking their horn, cussing at it, provoking. This is again why I don't suggest provoking at paranormal
Like,
locations.
do
Uh,
not provoke,
yeah.
please.
So my brother-in-law he'll swear on everything that the light started turning red.
Oh gosh.
Now he
Ooh.
claims, again, I was not there, so I can't personally validate this, but he claims that it turned red. They continued and like yelled and everything, and a fireball came from this light down the tracks towards them and went through the car.
Wow.
And it melted the some of the paint off of the hood and burnt the seat. Um,
Holy.
once that happened, they left.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess it got its point across. I remember my sister saying that she went um at one point and she said that it blew the fuses
Really.
while they were there. So yeah, what is, this particular, I haven't seen or been to any other of the light phenomenon locations other than Pactolus Light. So that's the only one that I can speak on personally I have witnessed. I can't tell you what the Pactolus Light is. So I can't tell you what any of these other light phenomenon are. I don't think it's swamp gas. I don't think it's ball lightning. I don't think it's light reflecting off of a roof. It was very fluid in motion. It definitely had the um the swaying as if it was a lantern,
Uh-huh.
like going across the ground where the tracks were. I didn't walk down the tracks, but there are people who claim that if you do walk down those tracks, there is a small like shack or like cabin. It's where the train station was. Back in the day, it was literally just, those small wooden shacks where they would have like the mail that hangs off and the train would grab the mail as it goes by,
Mm-hmm.
or it was just like, small, like small enough for maybe 20 people to kind of sit inside and wait for the train or get off or whatever the case may be. But people have said and claimed that there is a shack there or some small station, and inside was evidence of animal sacrifice or some sort of rituals that have been done.
Oh,
I didn't see any of that, so I don't know. That's just hearsay.
right.
But um, I don't know. I definitely will say that there is something very paranormal that goes on at the Pactolus Light location. Again, as I said before, if you're in that area, I do not recommend going. It is fenced off and it has no trespassing signs. Please pay attention to those signs. Now, if you can get a hold of the property's owner and they give you some sort of written permission and you go and investigate it, info@kappaparanormal.com. I'd love to hear about it. But I do
You know,
not, I don't recommend anyone trespass or go anywhere that they don't have permission to be. But that is a
uh,
it's interesting story.
or not, many places have reported lights like will-o'-the-wisp lights. In fact, that's one of the things that I've been looking into myself. I have a theory, and I've been trying to go to as many different places as I can. So far, maybe about two or three. But I wonder if, or the theory is, okay, the theory is every forest has some type of will-o'-the-wisp type light going on.
Okay.
Now, I've been to a wildlife management area up in Woodbine,
Hmm.
which is in Camden County, Georgia.
Hmm.
And we've seen numerous lights over there, red lights, blue lights. I've debunked some of it coming from the highway, whereas others not so much. And then there's the Seaton Creek Preserve, which is about 5 or 10 minutes from me here on the north side of Jacksonville. And I've seen red lights there. And actually, Kevin,
Hmm.
people are reportedly seeing numerous lights in the Ocala National Forest.
I believe it.
Believe
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in Ocala.
Kevin, I have a
I
challenge
agree.
for
Okay.
you. Boots on the ground.
Okay.
Let's go to a spot and
Okay.
see if we can see. Harken back to your very first experience as a paranormal investigator. See if we can see a will-o'-the-wisp light.
I'm down. I'm down. As long as it's in
The-
the winter when like wasps and spiders have gone.
well, the nice thing about it is, uh, like the Ocala National Forest, you can go in your car
Oh, okay
and
then. Yeah.
like park right next to the woods, and you literally are just staring at the woods for a while, waiting for the light to show. That's the same thing I did at the wildlife management area. It was a little different at the Seaton Creek. I walked a little bit into the trail to see the light,
Okay.
but it seems, what's the word? It seems that it's a phenomenon that happens across the board. At least that's my theory.
Okay.
And Very interesting. I mean, like I said, I saw it. I saw one up in Wisconsin. Um, so I think it would be fun and interesting. A little bit of spooky, and the hardest thing is just trying to explain what in the world are they?
I'm down.
You know?
I would even say I'm down to do that, and we can go live on the YouTube channel and
Ooh,
let everybody go along with us.
ooh, that sounds like fun. That sounds
So
like fun.
let me know in the comments down below if you're on YouTube and let us know if that's something that you would like to see and like to be a part of. So
Ooh,
yeah,
definitely.
we'll we'll set up a time and date and we'll let you guys know and we'll do that. That sounds like fun.
All
So
right.
guys, I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. I think we've been going for quite a while. Um,
You have.
any closing thoughts, Aubrey?
It's a vast world out there. Lots of unexplained things. We, sometimes you feel like you understand everything or that people have explained everything, and I'm here to tell you, no, no, there's a lot out there. There's a lot to explore and discover
Yep,
in your very backyard.
yep. The truth is out there.
Yes, truth is out there.
So, all right. You can follow us, kappaparanormal.com, facebook.com/Kappa Paranormal. That's where you can see all of our updates, everything that we're getting into, all these episode updates. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Um, if you are not watching on YouTube, hop over to YouTube and you get to see us. If you're watching on YouTube and if you want to watch us or listen to us on the go, you can find us everywhere you listen to podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, uh, on and on and on. But if you are listening to the podcast version, please rate us 5 stars. It does so much to us and gets us to a broader audience. Um,
Yes.
we really do like making these episodes, and we want to continue to do it. We want other people to hear and watch us. And if you would like to be a guest on the show in a future episode, go to kappaparanormal.com and click on the Into the Paranormal tab and just click on Be Our Guest. You'll find the whole thing, so it'll let you know or let us know if you are an author, an investigator, you have your own team, you're part of a team, you have an experience, whatever the case may be, and you just want to share it with the world, and we want to give you that voice. So go ahead and click on that, and we'd love to have you on our show. Um, all that being said, thank you for being with us. Until next time. As always, I have been Kevin Leonard, and that has been Aubrey Bowen, and this has been In to the Paranormal.